Hey guys, so we are going to quickly look at week 0. This is your first few assignments due in this course. I'm going to quickly go through them and help guide you through what you need to do, the expectations. There will be a video each week that goes with those, with your weekly work. And so this week, you have your course agreement quiz. Okay, so this you need to do. The right answer for this quiz is true. It's just your buy-in to the class, saying, I want to move forward. I've read all the policies. I've looked at the syllabus. Let's go. All right. This is your introduction discussion. So this can be as in-depth or as short as you prefer. I want at least 10 sentences that kind of gives me an idea of who you are. But if you're pretty private about like your family and stuff like that, you don't feel comfortable, that's okay. Give us as much as you can give about maybe your academic career and goals, okay, or your favorite food. All right. And then after you post your first discussion about you, I want you to find 2 people and reply to their post and make it meaningful, not just nice to meet you. Find somebody you have something in common with or you found very interesting, ask a question, something like that, okay? If you haven't done a discussion before, you just click in here and you create a thread, okay? And it kind of looks like an email. You're going to put a subject on it, you're going to type it up, and you're going to hit submit, all right? Once you do that, you'll see a whole list of people that have already created their discussions, and you can just click on them, and there's a reply button right underneath the discussion, and that is what you're going to, that's what you're going to hit to reply to 2 people, okay? Those are your 2 assignments that are due. Other things that I need you to do is I need you to get into this folder, Understanding Culture, and I need you to kind of go through it. It doesn't take very long, but what this does is it introduces you to the idea of culture. If you haven't been introduced to it, if you haven't taken a course that talks about culture, you're going to need this in order to understand it. I'm not teaching you culture. I'm teaching you about world culture. So we're looking at specific cultures around the world, okay? And this is going to be necessary information. This should take you maybe 20 minutes at the most, okay, including the videos and all of that. There on your midterm, I will tell you that some of these elements are on there. That's how important I find this folder to be, okay? And then lastly, this is your chapter notes. You don't have to do this. These aren't for a grade, but what this does is it helps you not only guide your reading, because not a lot of people are really good at reading a textbook like word for word, chapter by chapter. Instead, if they have something that's more hands-on that can help them be interactive with the textbook, then they get into it a little bit easier. So that's what I've provided you. It is regarding the 10 elements of culture that we're going to look at in this class and through different cultures around the world. You can print one of these for all of your chapters. It's a PDF, so you can download it and then print it, or you can just print it straight from here. You'll wind up printing this 15 times. So you can do that already, or you can just do it chapter by chapter. What I encourage you to do is take these 10 elements of culture, which you will learn if you went through this folder. They're right here, okay? And find them in each chapter. So take chapter 1. It's the Azande culture, and tell me what their values and beliefs are. Write it down. Find their social relationships, marriage, friendship, hierarchy, government. Tell me what those are. Dress and other body decorations. Is this important? Do they have a lot of clothes that have symbolic meaning? Family structure. Who's in charge of the family? Is it the mom? Is it the dad? Do they all live together and the oldest male is in charge? How do they view time? Yes, everybody views time differently. Do they go by a clock, or do they go by the seasons? Okay. Same with communication patterns, diet and food, religion, religious practices. Those are 2 different things. Religion is what they practice, and religious practices is how they do it. Okay. So what are their traditions and their sacred ceremonies and so forth and such. Traditions and customs, recreation and leisure. All right, and then just make notes. And if you can identify all 10 of these cultures in your notes, then you will have read the chapter and absorbed the material sufficiently. So this is one way that you can do some interactive reading as opposed to just reading it word for word. It's not mandatory. It's highly recommended, but not mandatory. All right, and so that is just sitting there for you to do what you want with. You can also find this under your course resources. All right, so you can quickly jump over here and it is right here as well. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about week 1 and the expectations, the graded elements are your course agreement quiz and your introduction discussion. You must do this in order to stay in the class. I have to have some participation on Blackboard. That's what this does for you, okay? And then your understanding culture, it gives you a leg up and helps refresh your memory about what culture is and what we're actually looking at and studying. And then I've given you an option to help with your chapter readings that might allow you to get through the textbook and the chapters a little bit easier, okay? If y'all have any questions, let me know.